One day after heavy rainfall hit the Tri-State, high water is still an issue in some areas, but conditions are beginning to improve. Eyewitness News meteorologist Cody Bailey is live in one of the hard-hit areas, Hopkins County, tonight. Cody?
Good evening, Brad. That's right. Several area road closures and roads that were underwater just about 24 hours ago have since begun to dry out. And that includes the intersection behind me. I'll step off to the side. Completely dry right now. That is Kentucky 254 and Brown Road just outside of Hanson, Kentucky in Hopkins County, where, as you can see, dry, but there was some debris on the side of the roads. But just several hours ago this morning, that was one of the high water areas completely submerged after days, or about a day, of very heavy rainfall moved across the Tri-State. That also included the impacts for Hanson resident David Adams, who says this is something that happens time and time again.
With the heavy rains that we have, we're always worried about it flooding underneath our house and all that.
Hanson resident David Adams says his home just off of Brown Road sees its fair share of flooding.
Thanks to the good Lord, it didn't get up like it has in the past.
High water was a common sight across the Tri-State after several inches of rain fell. However, a much improved scene in many of those same locations just 24 hours later.
Seems like with all the rain that we have lately, it's a pretty common event.
So typically whenever we have events like that, you'll have roads that'll flood, and they'll be flooded for a few hours and maybe sometimes a day, but water eventually drains off of them. There's a handful of roads in the county that are in low-lying areas that we will see flooding anytime you have a quick rain event that produces a lot of rain in a short duration.
With many roads reopened, Emergency Management Director Nick Bailey says the simplest advice is to avoid any high water areas that still remain.
The best recommendation is, even if it's a few minutes out of your day, turn around, find a different way. Turn around, don't drown.
Bailey also warns of the power of water, even though it may appear deceiving.
Don't even try it. I don't care if you think it's an inch, because less than a foot can move most passenger vehicles. A foot of water can move most passenger vehicles. And the big issue with a lot of floodwaters is they're murky. You can't see the road center lines, and the possibility that, hey, drainage tiles that go under the road can be pulled out of the ground, and now you've got a big hole in the road that the minute you hit it, your car is going to be underwater.
And that wooded area you see just behind David Adams' house was also completely submerged, and that water did creep up into his yard. Thankfully, though, as he mentioned, quickly receding and drying up here today. Now, Hopkins County Emergency Management Director Nick Bailey, that you also heard from, he mentioned that typically the long-term flooding issues that we see in our area are due to river flooding and those higher river levels. Not the case this time. That was a flash flood event, but those rivers will be on the rise over the next several days. That's something to keep an eye on here as we go over the course of the next week. Reporting live in Hopkins County, Cody Bailey, Eyewitness News.